Have you ever cracked open a retail box, retail meaning like Walmart, Target, GameStop, Best Buy, things like that, full and you're full of hope and excitement, and you're only left to be wondering, why did I even bother? Why did I even bother going to this place? Why did I even bother going and spending $200 on all these blaster boxes when I got nothing? Well, today I'm going to share a story that hopefully will help you make you think twice before spending another dime on retail boxes. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see why more than not that these little boxes are a big letdown. But first, before we get into this video and then eventually my story and some things that you can hopefully do in compensation of buying retail, if you want to be part of our insider club or email insider club, send a message in the comments, say insider, and what that will do is we'll send you a weekly email on when things are getting restocked around the country. Comment insider, and we'll send you that link. You can sign up with your emails. And in this video, why do I never want to buy a retail box ever again? And really the first thing I wrote down that I wanted to kind of talk about was referencing disappointing pulls. Now, I'm talking about retail versus hobby. I wanted to compare those two just in case you didn't know what they are. Retail is more Best Buy, Target, Walmart, the main suppliers. Hobby is more like your local card shops. Hobby boxes, a little bit more expensive than retail. But retail is getting up there pretty much now. But disappointing pulls. And first, retail. Think of like the early 90s when the wax pack era was coming around and everything was being overproduced. That's kind of what retail is. Dude, Ace Hardware is having boxes in their store. It's getting overproduced right now. So finding parallels, finding inserts, you're going to find some things, but it's more on the low end of the spectrum compared to hobby boxes we're going to get into in a second. Autos, depending on the series, but it's really around 1 in 20 boxes that you would find an auto. It depends on if it's Bowman or Topps or Panini or Cruciate, whatever that is. But usually it's about 1 in 20 boxes I've been researching that you're going to find an auto in. Okay, so you got 20 boxes on average and get one auto. Numbered cards, they're few and far between too. They're very scarce. Found only in really select boxes typically. I compared Bowman 2023 to Bowman 2024 baseballs, and 23 I had a lot more numbered than I found in the 2024s, and I pretty much opened the same amount of boxes. Now, I may have opened some mega boxes on Bowman, about maybe 2 or 3 mega boxes on the Bowmans, and then I'm opened some Bowman Chromes, and I also opened probably about 8 or 10 Bowman Blaster boxes, and I did the kind of the same thing the year before. And it just seems that retail is not getting the hits anymore. I don't know if that's all going towards like the breakers and the hobby boxes, but retail, if you do find something, you get an auto of some guy you never heard of. So it's not really a numbered card that's not really you ever heard of anybody. So it's different than it was last year, I think. Just from me personally, when looking at all this stuff and opening up all this stuff, right? But that's retail. You're going to find some things, but it's very, very scarce. Now, hobby is more tailored for seasoned collectors. And with that being said, your hit rate's going to go up because you're spending more money on these hobby boxes. I always wanted to get a Topps Cosmic Chrome. And right now, I think they're like $600 for a hobby box. I wish they had blaster boxes. I wish I had just packs of them because I would definitely get them. But, $600 on a blaster box, it's kind of hard to convince the wife that I'm going to spend $600 on a blaster box compared to $30 here, $40 here on or not hobby box, but a blaster box. And hobby boxes, $600. You can get low end hobby boxes. You can get the Topps Update, hobby boxes, or just regular Topps, Update 1, Update Series 1, Series 2, Update, and you can get them for $100, $120. So it's a little bit more, right? A little bit less expensive, but not as bad. But inserts, parallels for hobby boxes, any hobby box you're going to get higher tier inserts. You're going to get higher tier parallels. Autos, you're going to have higher odds typically. Typically, hobby boxes have 1 or 2 autos per box. Whereas you got the blaster boxes here, and it says, yeah, you can get one auto or a relic card. And what do I get all the time? Relic cards. So I mean, the autos are few and far between with retail, but hobby, at least you're guaranteed one or two autos, and they're usually on the higher end, depending on what box that you get. Numbered, you're going to get probably, I would say, between like 5 and 7 numbered cards in a hobby box, in a really, really good hobby box. In a low-end hobby box, you might get 3 or 4, but I mean, it's way more than maybe one every 10 boxes in a blaster box. So you're getting more high-end stuff. So if you were to compare the prices, we're going to get to in a second. So I kind of just looked at Topps Chrome Baseball, the updated. And retail autos are very hard to find. And the parallels are very sparse. And you might get an auto 1 in 10 boxes on the Topps Chrome, which is a more higher end product than the regular Topps. Hobby, you're guaranteed a certain number of autos. You're guaranteed exclusive parallels. You're guaranteed numbered cards. We're getting a lot more stuff for your money. So if I'm looking at buying like a Topps Chrome baseball versus a Topps Chrome baseball blaster box versus a hobby box, if I were to get like 10 blaster boxes and that equals the amount of one hobby box, I probably will get higher end cards in the hobby box. Now that's just what being said with retail versus hobby boxes. I'm not getting into singles or anything like that yet. I wanted to compare those two just in case you never got a hobby box or you don't plan on getting one, or that's all you get, or maybe you just get all retail. That's all depending. My second thing I wrote down was wasted money. Multiple retail purchases, one hobby box is significantly, I guess not, it's less. One blaster box, or the blaster boxes you add up to, they get the hobby box, they're less value than one hobby box. I mean, you can compare them. I can get, 10 blaster boxes and then get one hobby box, open them all up, and I probably have more money on the end, the result on the hobby box versus those 10 blaster boxes. But I mean, if you're building your collection and you don't care about money, you don't care about flipping those cards like I am, right? Then you want to get blaster boxes, you want to build your collection, you got a pretty cool collection. So that's a pretty cool thing, right? But one hobby box, you're getting less cards, but you're getting more higher tier cards, I guess you can call it. Number 3 thing I wrote down was memorable retail box experience. My story is I went and I spent, it was last Friday, I went into Target and I got $200 worth of blaster boxes and mega boxes. And it was about $200. It was about 5 different boxes that I got, and I did not get one auto. I did not get one numbered card. And the best card that I got was a $2 insert card of like an Aaron Judge or something like that, right? Now, I'm really more geared towards baseball. I do open some football too. Scotty really opens like the really basketballs and things like that. And Johnny's more like baseball. I'm the 3 guys that we do this channel with, right? And, baseball can be different than basketball. But I know it's a low sample size as well. But I mean, listen, I'm spending $50 on a mega box. I'm spending $35 on a blaster box. You gotta throw everybody a bone here and give at least a $10 a card, or give you a $15 card, or give you an auto or something that you seem like you're getting something instead of like 95% base cards and then some junk parallels. Like the Bowman's 2024 this year, like the blaster boxes. I mean, I opened, like I said before, I opened a lot of them and I didn't get anything with the Bowmans. I didn't get like one autograph. I may have gotten 2 or 3 numbered cards, which is people I had never heard of before. I didn't really get anything with those Bowmans. So compared to 2023, it's a little bit better. But again, the sample size is one person versus 1,000 people or 10,000 people doing it as well. Obviously, different parts of the country, different parts. But I've heard through the grapevine that retail is not getting a lot of hits, and it's more going towards the breakers. That's what people have been saying on my Facebook group that I've been in. I'm in like 4 or 5 Facebook groups, a couple Discords, that the retail is kind of like dwindling out and you're not really finding a lot of stuff, which that's not really good for the hobby. Like, if people want to go, that's where people mostly are spending their money on, the casual collectors, is retail. it's less expensive. But like then going back to my story, right? I got all these blaster boxes, didn't get one thing, and then I went back and I followed a couple of guys on YouTube, and he opened a box that I got and found an auto worth $1,000, and he was a breaker and things like that. So like I'm not sure what the deal is with the industry over the last year and a half, 2 years, but it just seems like the breakers are getting all the spots, and like you and I, the retail that we're getting from, you might find some, but I haven't really found anything lately over the last like 6 months really opening boxes, and I've opened a lot of boxes. But if you found something, let us know in the comments what you found, and so we can kind of see what's going on. I want to analyze all this data and then see what's going on. But if, like I said before, if I'm spending $50 on a mega box or a blaster box, like you gotta throw the QA QC, you gotta throw them in the bone somewhere. I understand that you're not going to get an auto in every card or every box. You're not going to get good things in every box. But I mean, throw us a $10 card here and there instead of the best card I got was a $2 insert of Aaron Judge. So it's like, it's ridiculous, I think. But taking a break from retail because of this fact is making me take a break from retail. I'm going to kind of stand off for the first few months of the year. I'm not going to get anything until baseball season starts rolling around again. They start producing stuff. I'm just going to hang back and not get anything from retail and just maybe save my money up for like in 1 month. I might get a hobby box, like a $200 hobby box, and just go to a local card shop and do that and see if my luck changes. But we'll see. But you're throwing money at flash packages. You're throwing money at all these boxes on retail and Walmart and Target where they're going off the shelves in like a day. And it feels like when I'm going into the Target and Walmart and GameStop, it feels like I'm forced to buy this box because if I don't get this box, there's not going to be anything left. So it's like, it's a crazy time that it definitely wasn't a few years ago. And at least before COVID as well. But the fourth thing I wrote down was scalpers and flippers and how that is impacting the hobby. I mean, these guys I've seen it personally. They go to stores, they have their entire cart full of Topps Chrome Update, 10 boxes in there, 10 mega boxes in there, and then they're selling them for double the price, right? So now that's driving up the price of Topps Chrome. And then when you might go into a local card shop, maybe they're doing it. And then you're going into a local card shop, and now you're doing that, and you're adding in, their prices, and now their prices in the local card shops are double the price. And now everybody's trying to get retail because they want to get the lowest price, and it's just like going bananas, I think. Just going bananas. And, the flippers are really impacting the hobby because of, they're driving the price up. And we saw that in the 90s when this happened. And now what's going to happen in the future? What's going to happen in 2 or 3 years when, things may go, shooting down. So we'll see, we'll see. But what can you do? Like, what can you do if, like, the title of this video again was you'll never want to buy a retail box again after hearing my story? There's my story, right? So what can you do? What are some better alternatives instead of going into Target, trying to find when they're stocking, when they're doing this, when they're doing that, and then trying to do something different? Because there's got to be something different that we can do. So I wrote down, I don't really do this, but participate in breaks, right? You can get into a break for $20 and, get some pretty decent cards instead of spending $500 on a hobby box. So participating in breaks. Save up for a hobby box. Like I said a couple of minutes ago, save up for that box instead of buying 10 blaster boxes. Save up for one hobby box, and you might get more value out of that. Now, if you want to just expand your collection, then go for the blaster boxes. Go for those things, right? Buy singles. I mean, singles, like, think about it. If you spend Topps Chrome, I always go back to Topps Chrome, or like the Stadium series, right? This Topps Stadium. I think they're $35 after tax, or $37, whatever that can be, for a blaster box. Who knows what you're going to get in there, right? But if I go on eBay and I want to get parallels of Aaron Judge or Mike Trout, not numbered, not autos, just parallels, inserts, it might be $1, $2 each. I can get 20 cards, possibly the cards that I want, for $20 or for $35 or $40 for the price of that blaster box, and now I have all parallels instead of having all just junk base cards. So I mean, that's the thing to do, is buying singles. Card shows is a great thing. You bring your money, you have cash. Maybe I'll give you $5 for that instead of $10. Okay, I'll give it to you, right? So card shows, you can wheel and deal. When you're face to face, you can wheel and deal more than like going through eBay and things like that. You can barter. You can try to get things for a good deal to add to your collections. That's a great thing to do. So card shops is a really, really good thing. Johnny made a video of this over maybe like 3 or 4 months ago, how they should always go to local card shops and card shows and barter. So definitely watch that video. The last thing I wrote down was late night ending of auctions on eBay. You can find good deals. Find when the auctions are ending, like at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And that will help you. And not everybody's up bidding on stuff. So you can find some pretty good cards for a low price, $1, $2, $3. That might be a $10 card. So you can save money there, and you can get cards with the same money with a blaster box or a mega box or even a hobby box. You can get the same amount of money. If you can be $300 and I go on eBay, I can find so many cards that I want for my collection for $300 and spending, instead of going to a card hoping for an auto of Ellie De La Cruz or Paul Skeens and then not getting it, and then being left with cards that I don't like or I don't want. So that might help you out. So if you're serious about big pulls, to wrap this up, if you're serious about big pulls, hobby's the way to go. If you just want to build your collection, blasters are okay. Singles are probably better, just because it's, you can get things that you want, but they aren't as memorable. They're not as fun as opening blaster boxes, opening hobby boxes, trying to get that rare card. I mean, that's the whole point of, sports cards, is doing that. But if you want to build your collection and show your friends you get this great collection, buying singles is probably the way to go. So let me know what is your experience with retail? Have you ever hit big in retail? What is your biggest card that you hit? What are some goals when you go into a Target, when you go into a Walmart? What are some goals that you have that you may want to, when you're buying a blaster or you're buying a mega or you're buying fat packs or whatever that could be? And again, thanks for watching this video. Happy New Year. Hopefully this helped you out and try to kind of steer you towards what you may want to do and how you can find things better than getting things that are not really that great, like blaster boxes in retail and things like that. So hopefully it really helps you guys out. That's what we're here for. And again, remember to comment, let us know what you think. Give us your things that you found, and also comment Insider, and we'll give you that link to our email list, and you can sign up. We can send you out restocks and release dates and all that good stuff, because it's so hard to find, online, where you're finding 25 different places trying to find things, right? So that'll help you guys out on the email list. But again, make sure you sub, make sure you have a great New Year. And again, thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.